physically as well. God, I don't know if you know this, but God never intended that any one of us should physically die. But now, because of that sin, and how serious it was, that's what was happening. I wonder if there are some people here tonight who are doing something similar. Maybe you're 20-something. Maybe you're 70-something. And you've gone through a certain amount of your life, and you've tried to cover your sins, in a sense. Perhaps from each other, from others here. You've convinced yourself and them and acted as if everything is okay, but your conscience condemns you. And you can't hide those things from an omniscient, that's an all-knowing God. You could hide your sins from me easily. I'm pretty slow when it comes to those things. That's my wife. She'll tell you. She can trick me easily. But you can't trick the all-knowing, all-seeing God. He sees them. We can't hide them. You can't put a cover over them so as to hide those sins from Him. It really shows us how foolish we can be when sin enters in to someone's life. Somehow we convince ourselves that if others don't see our sin, God can't see them either. It's almost like it's almost like a sheep that goes astray. If you're a shepherd, it's always the shepherd that has to go after the sheep. The sheep don't know how to get back. And it's just like that here tonight. The great shepherd, Jesus, is looking out for His lost sheep. He has to go out and look for those and gather those lost sheep. And did you notice in this account how God came to that garden that night? Or that day, I should say. How He chose to come. He didn't just drop out of heaven to terrify Adam and Eve. He didn't come with lightning and thunder. But He came into God as one who still wanted a relationship with Adam and Eve, even though they had acted wickedly. They had disobeyed and sinned God. Yet God quietly, we're told in that account that we read tonight, that Adam heard Him from a distance. It was no sudden shock to God's coming. And God, through His Son, Jesus, still comes that gentle way to each one.
Just a closer walk.
That's right, just a closer walk. That's His desire, even in spite of our wickedness. Remember, these were God's first words to a sinner. He came walking, we were told tonight. Not running, not in a rush to discipline His creation. He was long-suffering, He was patient, and He measured His steps. He wasn't in a rush to punish His creation. He came walking. He wasn't in a hurry to strike out and inflict even more terror on them. We're told that He came in the cool of the day and not in the dead of night, where it would have even been more scary. You know how if you're walking around outside in total blackness, it can be intimidating. It can be downright scary because you don't know what's out there. But God chose to come in the day.
He did.
In this account He did, yes.
He chose to come.
He chose to come. Not running, but walking. And He was nearing the end of the day, where it would soon be night as well. But so that they wouldn't lose hope, God, you know, this is a picture. God put stars in the evening sky, almost as a sense to them. There's still hope. There's still some light even in blackest day. Even if you've sinned to the point where you think God isn't able to forgive you, He's put light in the night sky. He's put truth out here for you. In the songs that we've sung tonight already, there's still that glimmer, like the stars are out in the night tonight. There's still hope. There's still a glimmer for each one. You haven't gone too far that God isn't able to forgive you tonight. Did you notice God's response as well tonight? It takes you and I lots of words, many words, to try to say something. But God chooses His words specifically. And only with a few words He can say much. Verse 9 we read tonight, God asked Adam, "Where are you?" Now it's not because He physically didn't know where Adam was. Remember how we talked about God being omniscient, all-knowing? He knew exactly where Adam was. But He was telling Adam something. He was telling Adam, "You're lost, Adam. Where are you? You're lost now. You're spiritually, the result of your disobedience, you've died spiritually. And because of that sin, you're dying physically now." It's similar to the voice of a parent with his child that has run away from him. The same question goes out, "Where are you?" And if it's God who's asking that question, then it must be true. God does not lie. So He's asking him. And He's asking us here tonight, where are you? Not your location. He knows where you are. He knows what you're wearing. He knows the color of your eyes. He knows your phone number. He knows where you are. But spiritually, where are you? In a bit. Focus. Don't lose track. This is very, very important. But you and I can take heart tonight. Don't get distracted. That He cares for each one here. Or else God would have never showed up. He cares for each one that's lost. There's still mercy that's available here for each one tonight. God is not willing to lose you. He has come in His Son Jesus Christ to seek and to save that which was lost. He could have, if He wanted to. He had the right to put an end to Adam and Eve right there on the spot. They sinned against their Creator. But He wasn't willing to do that. Just like the Scriptures tell us, like the Bible tells us, He's not willing that any should perish, that any should be lost. He's not willing. He sent His Son to die. That's how we know that He was not willing that we remain lost. It cost God the Father His Son. Sin had to be paid for. That disobedience that you and I have shown to God has to be paid for. That price has to be dealt with. Those sins don't go away, remember? He's not willing that any should perish. So we will ask you the same question tonight. To every single one that's here. Everybody, this is relevant for you here tonight. No one is beyond this question here tonight. Where are you tonight? By that I don't, like I said before, by that I don't mean what place are you. But what condition, what spiritual condition are you in tonight? Have you tried, in a sense, to cover your sins and tricked yourself that everything is fine? Have you come in here even, again? We've been coming out 12 years. I don't know how long you've been coming out. A lot of familiar faces. Have you come out here again, convincing yourself that everything is okay? This is a nice evening. I enjoy it. I really love the worship music. You've convinced yourself that everything is okay. You, in a sense, have sown fig leaves and covered yourself to try and hide your sins from God. But God is telling you that though that isn't adequate, nothing that they could have done, Adam and Eve, could reconcile, can bring them back in that relationship to God.